I gotta go to my car to get something. You wanna walk with me now, Jack?
Because you cut me off. You said you didn't want to talk.
Yeah, so that's the kind of journalism you're doing. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not trying to ambush you at all. At all. Can we get some time?
Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you.
I would really appreciate it.
You were really serious about this chili dog.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As you know, I'm making this film and on this kind of journey to end Black History Month.
To end Black History Month. He's trying to be provocative. That's all you're trying to do. Go ahead.
What's wrong with ending Black History Month?
You would be ending the longest running, most stable celebration of American history. And why would you want to do that?
It was created. It was a week. It was totally noble, absolutely the right thing to do, needed to be done. It was expanded to a month. Fantastic. That was almost 40 years ago. Is that it? Does it just stop at a month?
If every group put what they thought was important into the hopper, the truth of the matter is, it's an impossible task. And the fact that Black people are represented to the extent that they are is a result of a long struggle. There's politics involved in everything, and you seem oblivious to that question.
Actually.
Excuse me, I'm going to be rigorous with you. You raised the question. You're trying to bring an end to an institution. If I were a person who didn't like Black history, I'd agree with you. Because I can end American kids having to hear about Black history every year. There's a kind of naivete about this question. Be careful what you're asking for.
There's a danger to ending Black History Month, a danger I hadn't considered. Because of this, I didn't bring up the petition with Dr. Scott, nor all the people who had signed it. Here at Woodson's former home, I'm left to wonder if an America without Black History Month is an America without Black history. I can only imagine what Woodson would think about ending Black History Month.
What the hell are you doing?
On my way back to New York, I decide to stop by Delaware and see my mother as she prepares for her own Black History Month. It's been a while since I first mentioned all this to her and my father. I wonder if she still feels the same way.
Well, I think I could just spank you for that, but you're just too old. And I was always so proud.
I'm proud? What do you mean proud what?
Well, I think you're proud in a different way. I think your generation has integrated more, and they're more in the mainstream with everything. We weren't. So Black history saved our lives.
My mother clearly still believes in the importance and effectiveness of Black History Month. She tells me this year, with my aunt's help, she's putting on a Black History Month play.
Eleanor has always been into the arts. It's always been her thing. She wanted to do it. She said, Veronica, help me. And of course, Veronica's the little patsy. So I'm going along with whatever she want to do. Because she wants to do it. I don't give a hoot. And my idea of Black history is just go home and watch TV.
What concerned me was last year, in honor of Black History Month, they had a play about teenage pregnancy. And that was the play. And I thought, oh my goodness.
A play about teen pregnancy makes my mother uneasy about Black History Month, the same as it does me.
And then you'll come around here and we're going to actually work
Her
up
solution is to fix it with a better Black History Month play. But why does a historical play have to wait until February? Will no one come if it's in July? What does it mean that we immediately put ourselves in this February box? Is February the only time that Black culture, history, and people can coexist? Or are there other factors at work?
So what do you say to somebody that said maybe this is just a way to make a little money?
I don't see anything wrong with us making some money. I mean, we are enterprising people. But that certainly isn't the reason why I did it.
There is money to be made during Black History Month. That's part of my problem.
Scene one, take one.
Are you a Black actor? You are definitely gonna get paid this month. Stage or film, your role is being cast. Fashion designer? Black History Month fashion show.
Daddy, I'm not sure that I believe that walk.
Movies. Admit it, you're probably watching this one during Black History Month. Are you hungry? Honor Black History Month by buying collard greens, cornbread, or hot sauce on sale. Don't forget the chicken. Do you need to walk? Step out this February in Black History Month sneakers. I am. And yes, there is a Nike Black History Month sneaker. Hey, want to draw African-American consumers to your company or brand? This is the month to tell the world you care about Black people.
Black history leading to a healthier tomorrow. It's the same ideals you turn to when it comes to your GI health. What?
There seems to be a bunch of ads targeted towards African Americans in January and February.
These guys really do a lot of traditional print work, magazine work.
Is this just my imagination?
She's done some wonderful, famous commercials too, so she's hot. She's hot. New York.
In order to find out, I head to Burrell Communications, the largest Black-owned ad agency in the country.
In terms of ad, there's definitely a spike, just like you see a lot of snow commercials during Christmas. You know what I mean? It's an opportunity to celebrate culture, the African-American culture and accomplishments. Now, that's what I see Black History Season is, you know.
Did he say Black History Season?
Black History Month is not about selling. It's about, we've been selling to you, and we sell to you all the time. But right now, we just want to talk and pause and just respect that and talk about what we can do for the community. So there's a conversation shift.
I mean, they are selling something. I mean, at the end of the day.
Yeah, you know what? You know we are in business to make money. I mean, every company, every person, the local barbershop down the street is not cutting your hair for free. You know what I mean? The brother has to pay rent, right? It's activating different parts of the relationship, not just one. I think if you say it's about sales, then you're only looking at one part of the relationship.
I don't know what to make of these branded expressions of honor. Are they harmless, a result of a society where everything is for sale? Or is it an insult to what Black History Month is supposed to be?
A Dutch beer is a natural complement to celebrating African-American achievement. After all, without the help of Dutch merchant ships, there wouldn't even be African-Americans.
I realize now that my desire to end Black History Month is less about history itself. It's about escaping the confines of February as Black People Month. About claiming a rightfully earned American identity far too expansive to be associated with a single month or an advertising season. But my opinion is just not enough. I have to prove that Black History Month is detrimental, both to Black folks and Americans in general. Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts home of some of the brightest minds in the world. It's also here that Carter G. Woodson earned his PhD in history. It seems a fitting place to try to figure out how to prove Black History Month is detrimental. For help, I go to see social psychologist Dr. James Sedeñas, creator of social dominance theory.
Most of the time, the history taught is a history of the dominant group. This is one reason for the desire to establish Black History Month as a kind of a counter-narrative to this tendency for American history only to be thought of as a history of Europeans. To have Black History Month is sort of exceptionalizing African Americans and sort of almost treating them with a certain amount of condescension to say, well, okay, we'll gratify your need to have your story told 1 month of the year, you African American people. And then when that's over, we'll get back to the serious work of telling the American story, right, in which you have a very small role. In that sense, it's not a positive thing to have it, right?
If Black History Month perpetuates the idea of a European-dominated American historical narrative, how best can I prove this?
If you wanted to do a classical experiment where you've got the same condition, one would call the experimental condition, you have the control condition, and the only thing that's varied is the notion that one story is advertised as part of Black History Month, and the other story is advertised as part of just an American history lesson, but the contents are, in fact, the same.
The experiment was simple. I used Black History trading cards with a picture of a historical figure on front, a story about that person on the back. I asked people to pick a card at random, read the story, and take a 20-question survey designed to assess their value of this history. So I hit the road again, conducting survey after survey. To help gauge their responses, for half the participants, I said that this was a Black History Month survey. For the other half, I simply said this was an American history survey.
Hey, when you guys are done, if you'd like to take a 5-minute history survey.
Read the back of it. Then you fill out the rest of the survey. Okay. And it's just the bottom of this page and then the next one.
At the end, I'll compare the survey results with Dr. Sedeñas to make a final determination. I'm confident that finally I'll have proof Black History Month is detrimental. I returned to Cambridge to get the results of the experiment from Dr. Sedeñas and PhD student Arnold Ho.
So as you can see from this first graph, the self-esteem was not affected by the experimental manipulation for either blacks or whites. There was also no change in the perception of how important Black history is depending on the experimental manipulation.
The evidence seems to suggest that the celebration of Black History Month neither has a deleterious effect on anybody, neither does it do any good. It doesn't seem to have any positive effect either so far.
Is it safe to say that I spent all this time doing this experiment and it turns out to be a monumental waste of time?
I don't think so. I mean, it seemed like a reasonable hypothesis. It's good to know what the truth would be. That is to say, Black History Month does not seem to have the kind of ego-boosting effect that we thought it did.
If I can't prove anything is wrong with Black History Month, then how can I even entertain the idea of ending it? More surprising than Black History Month not being detrimental is that it had no positive effects on people's self-esteem or their value perception of the history. Is Black History Month just a non-issue all around? In my hotel room, my producer catches me mulling over this dilemma.
So let me just ask you, at this point in the film, what has happened?
I don't know. I just kind of feel like, it's tough. Especially because I took such a